So this is my first time going in to work with my new wild horse. This is tag number 6004 from the Devil's Garden Herd Management Area in Northern California. He was gathered from the wild in September 2020, so he's been in captivity only about 6 months and is estimated to be approximately 14 years old. This means I need to be very cautious in the beginning as we get to know each other, as this horse was recently still a stallion and has been for 14 years. The very first thing I'm going to teach him is to yield his hindquarters away from me and face up. I want to communicate to him that facing me calmly is going to make him far more comfortable than running or attempting to kick me. I want this to be his go-to move when he's scared, confused, or unsure what to do, so I want to put a lot of emphasis on this in the beginning and be sure not to put pressure on him while he's facing up. I opted not to have him haltered in a chute because I wanted to make sure his first haltering is a good experience in his decision, but this means I need to teach face up completely at liberty. I'm using the flag here as a tool to more clearly direct pressure towards his hindquarters anytime he's not facing me. I will use pressure to push his rear end away and release and give him space when I see his back legs yield away from me. I want to make sure his front end doesn't also move so that he is turned to face me. This guy is wanting to spin completely around and go the other direction instead of turning in, so if he faces me even for a second, I will walk away to communicate that this is the correct answer. The moment he turns away to leave, I again apply pressure to his hindquarters and ask for the yield. If he stops and faces me, I will leave him alone. I will not ask him to move until he stops facing me. It's important that I don't use excessive pressure with the flag, only enough to get the desired result. I do not want to scare him any more than he already is, and his first lesson is the scariest thing he will have to endure. However, this is vital for him to learn how to calmly handle pressure and not be afraid. He is learning very quickly and automatically turns to face me here, so I stop adding pressure with the flag and wait for him to remember to yield away, which he does, and I'm able to walk away and give him an opportunity to relax for a bit. Watch as he turns his head away from me for a second before turning back. This is a good thing as it shows he does not want conflict, and you should be wary of a horse that faces up and does not offer to break their stare. Moving his legs as well as walking away, however, is not what I'm looking for, so I'm going to immediately interrupt him and ask him to face up again. Timing is key for him to understand exactly what I want from him. Pretty soon, I'm able to draw him in a few steps as he chose to follow me into the center, and he's offering to face up without me having to ask him to yield away. I'm going to completely leave him alone the rest of the day and give him a good break. Day 2, he's still a little snorty and wary of me, but he remembers what he learned and is becoming very curious. I will start extending my arm as an invitation for him to come meet me, but I'm going to allow him to choose if he wants to come into my space or not. If he shows any interest in smelling or touching me, I will walk away to reassure him that I don't mean him any harm. I love that he wants to follow me here. When I extend my arm and take a small step towards him, I make sure not to directly face him, as he could perceive this as rude or even aggressive. He turns his head and shoulder away from me so that I know he also is not trying to be rude or pushy. So I reciprocate by turning away from him. He takes a few more steps towards me as a result, but is still too cautious to come very close. Because he's being kind and curious, I'm going to share some food with him. Meal sharing is scientifically proven in many species to increase the hormone oxytocin, which is responsible for bonding. Feral horses were involved in these studies and show that strong social bonds are characterized by cooperative behaviors such as grooming and food sharing. Oxytocin reduces anxiety and fear and encourages cooperation and trust. So this may be the single most important tool in our Mustang gentling toolbox, and undoubtedly is the reason humans have been able to domesticate these and other animals to begin with. You aren't showing weakness when you share meals with your horses. You are facilitating bonding and building trust. I'll link to the study below. I'm going to continue to offer my hand for him to smell and encourage him to reach out. In the next lesson, we will be focusing on touch, so be sure to subscribe to catch part 2. We're going to continue practicing face up and encouraging draw, but I truly feel like this gelding is putting forth such a great effort here. Thanks for watching.